welcome everybody to the Super Joe Pardo Show. I'm Super Joe Pardo, and this is another Biz Coach Reacts video. Wait for it. The Profit EcoMe is the name of the business. Before we get started watching and reacting to this business that it seems like it might be a bit in a pickle, as most businesses are right now in the country, but in general, I need you to smash that like button for me, for the YouTube algorithm, so we can get this information into more entrepreneurs, more business owners, and more of your best friend Nick, who needs help with his business, taking it to the next level. All right, now that you have smashed that like button for me, make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss another Biz Coach Reacts video or business lesson from me, Super Joe Pardo. Let's get it rolling here.
Products company run by two lifelong friends. This business is running on fumes, and it can close its doors any day. Without me, this business doesn't make it. My goal is to turn EcoMe into a $10 million company. And in that process, I have to teach these two that business isn't personal.
I can't fire any of my employees.
It's a business, Robin. If they don't listen, I'm saying no. This company will close its doors. My name is Marcus Lemonis, and I fix failing businesses. I'm willing to write a $500,000 check. I make tough decisions. I'm not willing to do the deal if you're in charge of sales. Back them up with my own cash. It's not always pretty. I'll take the shower. Jen, you take the toilet.
I don't do the toilet in my own house, really?
Wow. That's a product you're trying to sell that's a cleaning product, and you're there clearly you're showing it off to somebody, and you're there with Marcus, and you're going to say no. Well, Marcus has flipped his tie around onto his back and is going to take the bull by the horns.
But this is business. I do it to save jobs, and I do it to make money. This is the profit. EcoMe is an all-natural cleaning product started by Robin K. Levine in 2006. With the partnership of her childhood friend, Jen Mihalov, a 12% owner, they built EcoMe up from a small do-it-yourself cleaning kit to a 17-piece cleaning line, including dog grooming products.
Wow, including dog. That seems a little like you got too many products going on there, especially if you're having trouble paying the bills.
Product is sold nationwide at stores like Whole Foods and Target. And last year they did $500,000 in sales.
Woo! That's awesome. That's awesome. That's always great to see when people can have enough sustainable business to not only be able to employ people like what they got going on here. I assume they're not just working for free, but to also have the sales to back it up and get it into places that are, like, frankly, very hard to get into. Whole Foods is not easy. I mean, to get in a test of 1-2 stores, maybe, but to get anywhere past, that small test is very difficult, to say the least.
With only 6 employees. I personally use this product in my own home and find that it works extremely well. To stay in business, Robin has leveraged friends and family to find every penny she can, and they're nearly $500,000 in debt.
Oh man, that's hard. That's hard.
I'm really freaking out right now.
Household cleaning is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and environmentally conscious products are becoming more popular with customers every day. EcoMe has a great environmental product, but if they don't turn around their finances, they're going to have to close their doors, and all their workers will be out of jobs. With the right changes, I can make EcoMe profitable and turn this into a multi-million-dollar business in no time. I see the potential to make a lot of money. EcoMe has a small 2,000 square foot warehouse, and there isn't any significant machinery to be seen anywhere. What I see is a lot of work being done manually. I already see big problems.
Yeah, well, manually, I mean, there's quality control issues there. And clearly that might be one of the big things holding them back, is not being able to produce enough to meet the demand of a great, like, what if they got a greater, deal? What, pushed harder, had a salesperson that was willing to clean a toilet in front of potential customers in a hotel. Yeah.
How are you? Where do I find Robin and Jen?
Right through this door.
Are you Robin?
I'm Robin.
Robin, I'm Marcus.
Very nice to
Nice
meet you.
to meet you too. You guys have this place branded well.
Thanks. Oh, this is Jen.
Oh, hey, Jen,
Hi,
Marcus,
nice
how are
to
you?
meet you.
So is this pretty much?
Well, this is the front office.
Okay.
This is my office, and when Jen comes into town, because she's based out of the East Coast,
Oh, wow.
she works in here also.
I can't imagine having a coworker or an employee 3,000 miles away from where our business is. Look,
That's difficult, right? I mean, like right now in COVID times, we're all like telecommuting to some extent, some more than others, but to have 3,000 miles between you in such a small business, it's not that's very difficult to keep the reins on.
I understand phone and email, but nothing replaces human interaction. What I want to know about is, why did you start the company?
Yeah, so in 2005, my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer. We were like, how did she even get cancer in the first place? I went back to be with my family and help my sister through her treatments. And there was one day where I said, Mom, I'm not going to go with you guys to the doctors. I need a break. And she said, you know what? Your sister doesn't get a break. And I was like, wow. Talk about like a waterworks moment. And she said, why don't you just clean her apartment, make it really nice. When she comes home, it can be nice for her. And I was just opening up that cabinet under the sink, and I'm just staring at all the chemical stuff and the smell of it. And I said, oh my God, I can't clean with this stuff. I don't want her to continue to get sicker. And I went and I got vinegar, baking soda, olive oil. I Googled like how to make your own stuff, what to do. And that just really started a snowball. And I totally pulled Jen in. I've never done sales and marketing, but that's your background. You have to come with me.
So you oversee sales?
Yes. So I went.
She went.
And that was it. I was hooked.
She was hooked.
Robin, so this isn't really just about the products on the shelf for you, is
No.
it?
No.
EcoMe is part of my identity. It is part of who I am. And we work these days to obviously make money to put in our pocket and feed our families, but to do something that means more it's pretty awesome to be part of that.
There is a ton of chemicals in those any cleaning products, really, especially, I mean, the mass-made ones. There's a lot to be said for these companies developing products that don't have all these things you've never heard of and that kind of thing. In fact, it's funny, one of the first business coaching clients that I took on after I left my family's $100 million company was a homemade all natural detergent for clothes washing. And yeah, that was started because she would get these like rashes and like blisters and complete breakouts and stuff, and she couldn't figure out for decades what the problem was. And then one day it just dawned on her to try something else as far as her the detergent goes. So when she started looking up what was in them and how she could go and make her own, like that's what she did. So it's a story that I think a lot of these, especially smaller companies, they make these decisions on what to do as far as trying to solve this problem of too many chemicals and becoming caustic to the people using them.
You guys have a lot of your own money in the business?
Yeah.
How much debt in total exists today if you were just roughballing it?
Well, close to 500,000.
Wow.
Last year was the year I was supposed to get paid and didn't happen. And it's incredibly hard for me feeling the responsibility to pull any money from the company when I know that I haven't paid people that are working and following my lead.
Ding, 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 ding. That's some great responsibility there. Unfortunately, she's probably hurting very badly because of this. If she didn't, come into money or anything like that prior to starting the business and becoming in debt $500,000, and you're not getting anything out of it other than the ability to sell more.
The last time you got paid?
It varies, but even if
We're
I
back to November still with you.
yeah.
What's your biggest fear?
That this company won't survive.
If you don't raise money, is that a possibility?
Yeah, it's always a possibility.
Yeah.
Look, Robin and Jen have a great starting point with this company, and as you can tell, this business means a lot to them, and they've done a good job. But it's time for me to delve into the details and look at people, process, and product to see what needs to be fixed. I'd like to learn a little bit more about the product.
It's just vinegar water, a little solubilizer, and our essential oils. It's the most simple, clean, effective product on the market. Each of the product has a name. For instance, where they pick up a floor cleaner, it says Dave, and they say, oh, my grandfather's name was Dave. Phil is our toilet bowl cleaner, is named after one of our distributor reps. So it really is catchy, and it sticks with the consumer.
So
That's neat. You know, that goes back to like the Coke, like share a Coke marketing plan, right? Where it's like, hey, you know, my name's on the can, or your best friend's name's on the can, so I'm gonna take a picture and post it because it was neat. You know, it was a neat thing to do. So like, this was definitely ahead of its time as far as that goes.
the name of the product is Emma or EcoMe, or
So the story is that there is an Emma, and these are all named after our
what is
friends
the
and
actual
family.
truth? Is there an Emma?
There is an Emma. Yeah, there is an Emma.
A toilet bowl cleaner called Phil? A laundry detergent called Emma or Emily, or I can't even keep it straight? I've never seen a marketing plan this bad. So, Robin,
It is kind of convoluted to have that many different products. Again, like we said earlier, it seems like they have too many products that they're trying to push through, which is one of the reasons why they're, you know, probably drowning in $500,000 in debt, because they, you know, when you expand the line and you're stocking more stuff, you're making more sales, but especially if you're not making money on that, because it's very possible that they're not actually making a profit on something they absolutely should be making a profit on, which is chemicals.
and I'm a big people process product guy, and the product itself is good. It has good purpose, a good mission, and it works. But as a business guy, it's really, I'm struggling with this. I think it's terrible. You
Definitely needs to be simplified.
gotta have a brand, not Kate, Jack, Emma, Dave. It's just too much. Like,
Yeah, and again, I don't think that the problem is the naming of it. I mean, Marcus seems to have a problem with that, but I think the problem is you're trying to push all these different names onto somebody. And just think about, like, when you come into like a circle of people and everybody's introducing themselves, how many of those names are you actually going to remember? That's the same kind of thing that's going on there on that board.
sense?
We don't want to be like everybody else. This brand is very personal to me, and it was built on our friends and family. And in the marketplace, people know Emma. They know Bill.
What matters is what's inside.
What matters is what the customer sees on the shelf.
Well, the customer's not buying much of it. So, because to me, pride of authorship is a very dangerous mistake that people make in business.
I know you have your opinion, and I respect that, but I don't fully agree with it.
It's good to be passionate about your business, but when you have a pride of authorship that clouds your judgment, you're going to get yourself into real trouble. They need to understand their idea isn't working.
Right, and that's the thing. So like, you're to a point where it's like you're just drowning in debt, and so something is not working, right? And it's real easy to see, like, coming into it and be like, I love Phil, I love Emma, but let's find a way to simplify that naming structure, because again, remembering people's names based on that is tough. And you might have a core set of people that really love that naming structure, that get it, but I guarantee you, if you went back and like tried to fit, you know, did like a customer survey or something, they might not realize that those are names, right? And one of the things I would suggest is like, okay, we're gonna take the name, but we're gonna put it at like the bottom of the bottle, right? It's like the nickname for that product, and that's how I would be suggesting handling it, because it's just too. It's too hard. Like, you're trying to brand something as if and each one of those has its own identity. So it's like you're like, yeah, you have the EcoMe umbrella, but you're trying to like brand like 20 different things with its own name and its own naming structure, and that name Emma doesn't speak to what it actually does, and that's the problem.
Can you guys give me a tour?
Yeah.
The office next door is Joyce Frenzel, and she's our director of operations.
I'm Marcus, how are you?
Joyce, nice to meet
Nice
you
to
very
meet
much.
you.
Thanks for
Do
coming.
you love it here?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you just say that because the cameras are here?
No, my boss is right there.
Because your boss is right there? You don't want to get fired.
This is our warehouse. We basically have drums that we do all our batching in.
Should I think about this like a big recipe vat,
Absolutely.
adding ingredients like a mad scientist?
Yes.
Okay.
But we're not mad, we're happy. This is a big plastic tote of Castile soap, and it's one of the best Castile soaps you can buy.
So what's something like this cost?
What is a tote?
$4 grand.
$4,000? How much production can you get out of this?
Just under 5,000 units. We don't have a ton of room here, so we're buying one tote at a time, where maybe we need 4 totes to manufacture, 5 to 10,000 units.
But space is one confinement for not having more of this. What's another confinement?
Cash.
We need more people.
Yeah, I mean, Jen
It's
is our
just about-
sales team.
What have you been doing?
Manufacturing formula, you name it.
You understand that running your business that way is not good for you, it's not good for the business, it's not good for anybody. If you don't have the working capital, if you don't have the human capital, you will totally crumble. This business is facing a slew of issues, including the production process, the lack of machinery, and the lack of manpower. But I'm mostly concerned about their ability to sell.
Yeah, I mean that definitely
Jen is
speaks
a sales
to
team.
okay, so that mostly speaks to the fact that you have one salesperson, they're 3,000 miles away, so they're not in touching the product, meeting with people, setting up, maybe the people that the salesperson that she's meeting with are not within vicinity to be like, hey, come see our facility. We have our own place that we are making the soap, right? Like you could come take a tour and like really sell them on like, yes, I will take 10 pallets. Can you have it to me in 2 weeks?
Of one, and she lives 3,000 miles away. I mean, let me meet up with these folks.
Not to mention the fact that in that picture, so she's in Southern California, so that space is extremely expensive. I mean, not that New York, it looks like North Jersey, New York isn't expensive, but at least if you're in New York, you could put your plant in like Pennsylvania and it'd be way cheaper than either of those locations.
1,000 miles away. I mean, let me meet up with these folks for a minute. Hey, how are you? I'm Marcus.
Hi, Marcus. My name's Roel. Nice to meet
Oh,
you.
nice to meet you.
Veronica.
Nice to meet you. Are there ever days when you come in here and you wonder, can the business make it in this tough economy?
Yeah, that's been in the back of my mind. I know it can grow, but will it grow?
So tell me about your process.
That didn't sound very confident.
Come get the bottles.
So we got a blank
Then
bottle.
we take it to label it. These labels are probably too big. The roll's too long, so it will not fit on the machine here.
What are you, rigging the thing?
Yeah, because the roll's too big.
Not only do you not have the automated machine, this machine doesn't even work for what you have.
Right.
Right. So they're doing all this in sales, and yet they haven't invested in the right equipment to get the job done, to automate it so that they could work on a smaller crew or at least the same size crew as they grow. It seems to me like they should have invested maybe a little more in the salespeople perspective. I respect the fact that they want to build, have their own factory that they're, effective factory that they're making this stuff in. But maybe getting a co-packer, might be a better way to go, in the sense that you're able to put that money that you're spending on that space and spending on all this equipment and resources to package everything together and putting that into sales so that you could effectively get more sales.
How long does this normally take?
On a good day, we can probably get maybe 1,200 bottles.
This is the process.
Very long, very tedious.
Now let's see over here. What happens over here?
That's all money wasted. That it pains my heart.
This is a filler machine.
You have one.
One.
Wow. These machines are small and jerry-rigged, and the workflow is slow and inefficient. If they could only fill 1,200 bottles on a good day, it would take them several weeks to fill a 10,000 bottle order. This isn't going to work. Only to take.
No, and that's the thing. It's like, you patchwork when you get to the point where you're patchworking ideas together to make things, put it like piece it together, right? It works to a point, but if you're, it speaks to me that like they probably already had these problems. Well, obviously they had them because they're for a while now that they're $500,000 in debt. But it just like if they had somebody come in sooner and not necessarily give money, but like, okay, look, let's change the trajectory of where you're going, right? Working with a coach or working with a consultant, someone like me, we can, avoid getting to that point where it's like we're in debt, we can't afford better equipment, we're paying people, but we're losing money, and meanwhile the owner founder is not taking a paycheck, and neither is apparently is the saleswoman.
Through how this works. You'd have to turn on the machine. You set it down on the floor. This is how we set the time for the fill.
The guess, isn't it?
Until we get it accurate, yes.
These look full, but not really. They're a little short.
They'd be short.
So what does this need to weigh?
These should weigh about 35 ounces. See, that's over. So when it's over, what we would do, pour it out.
Now you're still over.
I'm over.
So I pour a little bit out.
I'm still over.
It's like, how is this a thing? How is this possible that they could even get 1,200 bottles a day? That's
This process is crazy and it's inefficient. It took over a minute to fill a single bottle, and that doesn't even include the labeling. Inefficiency will kill this business. Joyce,
it already has killed this business, Marcus. You know
what is your
that.
title here?
Director of Operations, so I oversee all of the operations. I'm basically responsible for everything that takes place on the premises.
If you owned the business, what would you change if you were me? One thing.
Definitely sales is what concerns me the most.
Do you think Jen's qualified to run that sales group?
Yeah?
Kind of.
Yeah, maybe. The cameras are on. Can we turn the cameras off?
No, this is only the third time I've ever met her. So to be honest, I have not spent a lot of time with her.
How many years have you been here?
5 years.
And this is only the third time you've met her.
Correct.
In 5 years. Holy poop. That is terrible. Look, I get that you're not going to see them all of the time, right? But I would think, if things were going the way they should, she should probably be there maybe once a month to every 2 months. Ideally, if she lived in the area, she'd be there more often. But dealing with the situation the way it is, I would expect to at least see her maybe 5 times a year, 6 times a year, or maybe less. But if it's less, then the sales are going and nobody's questioning it, right?
This is a sales organization, right?
Yeah.
It's not anything else. And life is about selling. So if you don't have your sales stuff in order.
Yeah, that's definitely the number one concern.
Joyce has only met Jen 3 times in 5 years. How could you run a sales organization from 3,000 miles away? It sounds to me that sales are a much bigger problem than I originally thought. Your role in the company is sales. Do you think it matters that you're not actually in California with the rest of the team? You're in New York? Do you think that makes a difference?
No.
No, of course
No
not.
problem.
Nope.
It seems odd to me that somebody would be in charge of sales and not be where the product is and not be where the team is. Do you feel like you're good at sales? Is this something that you feel like it's a strong suit of yours?
Yes, I do. When I go to do these shows and I'm talking to a buyer, I could pretty much hold any product in my hand and sell it.
Are you freaked out a little bit right now with where the company's at financially?
Yeah. I mean, it's just been a tremendous roller coaster. It's just been very difficult.
Yeah, I bet it has. And that again, that speaks to why isn't there more sales? If you're doing your job, even if it's 3,000 miles away, we're not averse to the idea that, or I'm not averse to the idea that, like, okay, maybe you are only going to come in 3 times a year, right? But the 3 times in 5 years, and the sales aren't there. Not good.
There are some flaws in this business, but I still like the product. I'm going to go in and talk to Robin, who appears to be the decision maker, to see if we can cut a deal to save EcoMe. So here's the good news. I believe in the product.
Okay.
I love the people that are here, but I think your process is terrible. I think you lack efficiency and equipment. You also need to sell more. So here's what I have in mind.
And probably figure out your profit scheme there, because where you're at right now with your profit is probably not enough, which is why you're struggling as well.
Number one, I want to get this company to 10 million in sales. Number two, I want to be profitable in a very short period of time.
It sounds great.
I'm willing to offer $500,000 to help this business not only survive, but succeed. I'll finance the inventory. I'll finance whatever equipment we need for the warehouse. I will pay off the debt and fund working capital, but I want 20% of the business.
That is an awful deal.
For who?
For
me?
us? No, you have a great deal. That's a great deal. You're crazy. So you're at.
Wow. Okay, so I don't think they actually said what the actual amount that they sell is, but at $500,000, that's valuing the company at $250,000. They're $500,000 in debt, and he's going to be a money train for them. So, I don't think that's and there's a lot of and you know what, let's not discount the fact that there is a ton of work that has to go into reimagining some of the branding, getting the sales out of the toilet, like what is it, where's my button, deduction, that's
Asking me to give up 20% of this company, give up everything that we've worked for.
You need money.
We do need
And
money.
you need help.
We do, but I would say $250,000 is easily worth 10% of the company, and that gives you enough equity in the company so you feel secure that you're a part of it.
So a
but you're not
company that
taking-
does $500,000 a year in sales and loses $200,000 is worth $2.5 million to you?
The valuation of our
I
company.
don't care about the valuation. You need money.
This is my child. This is my company. It's everything.
I appreciate how personal it is.
Wait, did I do it wrong? I guess I did it wrong. So it's 20% at 500,000, right? So I don't, did I make a mistake? Because 5 times 20 is 100%. So if you take 500,000, you times that by 5, right? That would be 2.5.
But without my money, without my help, this business that you love, it all will go away very fast. Coming up, you cannot get to 1 million because you're not good at it.
No, I am good
No,
at it.
you're not. This is about putting people in the right place. You are not a salesperson.
That takes a lot. That takes a lot to say that. All right, well, we're going to pick up in part 2, so make sure you go and watch that. This has been Biz Coach Reacts to The Profit for EcoMe. I need you to smash that like button for me if you've been enjoying this video. Make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss any more Biz Coach Reacts or business lessons from me, Super Joe Pardo. If you want to learn how you can work with me, go to superjoepardo.com. Check me out on all the social medias at Super Joe Pardo. I want you to make it a magical day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.